Hello everyone, welcome back to TARDIsTyle Talks, which is what we're actually going to be now because we can't really be a podcast because we're on YouTube now. Snazzy. With me today I have myself, Lee.
Desmond.
Sam.
Mary.
And the air.
Quite a lot of it.
Yes, quite a lot of it, a sufficient amount. We just watched The Christmas Invasion, which of course is the beautiful David Tennant. And we do not have our resident never seen episode person, so we can't really speak to that stuff. But let's remember back and when you first saw this episode, what did you think of it?
I would say I liked it. It was the first, full-length episode that we had David, because you can't really say it's the first episode that we had David, considering he was in the season 1 finale, and he was only there for like 5 seconds. But it was our first full-length episode of David. Probably, I won't say it's the episode that made me fall in love with him. No. But it was the start of the road that just spiraled down.
This long relationship.
Exactly.
I think that if he did not show up conscious and alive during, if he didn't show up, speak, and then fall unconscious, the episode would have been a lot weaker. I think. Just because it's all we didn't really know him. Like when I first watched it, I loved Eccleston to death, and when you said knew who, I was like, I mean, the man looks very nice, but I didn't know anything about him, and so if I didn't get a little bit of the snark right when he showed up at the beginning, like when the drag out the joke with the Merry Christmas being something critically important, I don't think I would have liked it as much, and I think his presence and his absence are two big themes of this and what it means.
Mary, what have you to say? We've heard from everyone else except you.
I thought the end was pretty shocking when I first watched it, because it took a big stance on humans are finally accepting that they're aliens and stepping out into space, and they're doing it in a big way and the wrong way. And I thought that was an interesting way for them to play out humanity's entrance into space.
I agree. My big emotional point of this one was, oh my god, they killed the very nice Welling guy. It was very sad. But I was also really excited because the reason I started watching Doctor Who was because I had seen David in Hamlet. So I was very excited. I was like, when do we get to David? And they're like, it's okay, he only has 1 season. Don't take that in any way that I don't love Eccleston, but I was just like, I want David. Because when I saw that, I remember the first time when I saw Hamlet on the public broadcast station here, I immediately took down a note on my iPod and with the actor's name, and it was David Tennant, that's the actor's name. I had no idea what kind of start of such fangirlism that was going to be. So on to the more humany-woomany part, if we may. Yes? Consensus?
I was going to say, I mentioned it when I talked about my first impressions of the episode, but I think this episode is supposed to highlight the Earth with the Doctor around versus the Earth without the Doctor.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting point.
And the long and short of it is that Earth without the Doctor is either A, screwed, or B, using excessive force. And definitely making similar mistakes to, say, other races we've seen.
Such as?
Well, I mean, we've got the Time Lords themselves.
Well, yes. But we haven't seen too much of them.
No, but we did see one of them genocide 2 races at one time, allegedly.
Which?
I mean, come on. The Doctor himself is a bit of a hypocrite to say that, that they're doing it wrong, because that's what he did.
Yes, Mary, I see you have a question.
So I know that part of this episode is it's the second time it's really going to show the ramifications of the Doctor doing something with the planet Earth. The first time being when he got rid of the Jabberfest on the satellite and
Jargafest.
Oh, yeah, I never got
Mighty
it
Jagger
right.
has
That
to
guy.
fly.
Max.
Anyway, and he doesn't do anything, and humanity spirals down. We allows the Daleks to take over, and that was the first time we
The
saw the
Daleks.
ramifications of his actions. And now we're going to see the ramifications of him messing with Harriet Jones's head like that. But I feel like it was really important for her to be disciplined because of what she'd done, because she seriously, in my opinion, messed up, and I don't think she should have just gotten away without any remark or trouble for that. So I was glad that he took that stance against her.
I like that.
Of course, without actually really mentioning anything in the too far of the future, the vote of no confidence they mentioned and her quickly declining support becomes very important, and we'll, like you said, we get to see the fun part that comes.
If
from
he
that.
hadn't done that, who knows how he would have regenerated.
You said the thing.
He messed it up from the very first day.
Yep, he
Because we
kind
know
of.
that she was supposed to serve 3 terms as prime minister.
Yeah.
And now she's only serving like
3 days.
yeah, not even 1.
This is like the Chekhov's boomerang of all Chekhov's boomerangs. They throw this out at the beginning of Tenet, and it doesn't come back until
End of season 3.
Thank you.
Yes, that.
But yeah.
Do you say, Sam? You have that face of needing to say something.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
So what do you guys think
Well,
the Earth with the Doctor is like? Because we were talking about, excessive force and
Yes.
murder and.
It brings bad things.
Well, Torchwood.
Torchwood.
Torchwood is the only thing I have to say about that.
Torchwood 1.
Torchwood 1.
Right now.
Yes, right now. But it's just because of the Doctor, Torchwood is there, and then I feel like because of him.
Well, yes, we figure out in Tooth and Claw that it is his
Yeah.
fault that he's
Yeah.
there.
And then, because of him, I'm trying not to be spoilery, but okay.
I never said what happened.
She
Okay.
didn't say the episode title.
But I was just like, because he Torchwood is there because of him, but Torchwood's also so excessive and so forceful
Yeah.
that.
Torchwood represents the United States.
Yay.
Well,
Oh.
Torchwood's also supposed to represent any sort of extreme, new, expansive military power. Like, if you think about it, I don't know if you know the origins of machine guns.
I could not give a lesson on it.
Once the first machine guns were being developed, they were immediately put to use in Africa and colonization efforts there. It's a brutal sort of like turf war, basically, between the native people and their conquerors. But the point is that new technologies often lead to these responses, lead to these sort of overly hostile, constantly aggressive responses because, well, we're humans. We see a shiny new toy and we want to wave it around at anyone and anyone who will listen.
Look what I have!
See, we can blow up spaceships.
I think they're also supposed to be a bit of a yin to the Doctor's yang, because the Doctor's all about, protecting people, but no guns. They'll try and search for a peaceful method, whereas the Torchwood, their first step is, how can we completely and totally obliterate whatever this threat is, no matter how many alien lives it costs?
Or humanize.
But we do see that this Doctor is not the same Doctor that said justice once everybody lives, because this time he made sure at least one person or one alien died on his watch.
That is true.
Well, if he
No
had
second chances.
But
he did get that the Sycorax leader did get up and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna come kick your ass now," and so, he was at his own fault now.
Yes,
And I apologize for saying that word that I said.
But that's the thing though. Like, I imagine that this is supposed to show that maybe he's got a bit more of an edge. Like Eccleston talked big about.
Is he 3 edgy?
Maybe a little.
Edgy like barbed wire.
Yeah, he's edged like barbed wire. Sorry.
Computer not falling.
I became increasingly paranoid of the state of the laptop we're recording this on. But to go back to what I said, maybe this is a little more obvious. It's a little less, oh, I'm dark and brooding because I ended up accidentally genociding a couple of races. It's no. I'm slightly more actually going to kill you if you try to, waste my second
Well,
chance.
there is the line that encompasses that. No second chances. I'm that kind of man.
Yep, that's who he is.
But then he goes on and he does give second chances.
He does, that's true.
Not all the time.
Sometimes.
I feel
he feels
like-
it's deserved.
I feel like, and I don't know why I feel like this, because even though technically Eccleston's doctor was more like clearly dancing in the line between sanity and insanity, he was like dancing between it. Once he got his companions, though, he kind of came back away from it. However, I feel like David's doctor, even though he seems happier and he does have that more like darker edge, though, he's more like,
I find him to be more depressed.
Yeah, he definitely is easily more depressed, because in a way you could say that he, like, when Eccleston regenerated into him, he had someone around. He knew someone was going to be there for him. He, like, you could say in a way that this regeneration was made to always have someone around him.
Yeah, because he does not do well when someone is there.
So when he's alone, like, Eccleston's doctor could be alone and still be, like, somewhat sane. But I feel like David's doctor, once he's alone, truly alone, he quickly goes over that line from insanity to insanity.
I feel like he also faces more Time War issues, whereas Eccleston had just gone out of the Time War. It was like done for him. He was moving on. He was done. But Tenet deals a lot more with ramifications of that. Of like,
how so?
He has to put up with the Master, and then there's Daleks coming back, and the Daleks are just reminding him that while as your species dead, you thought they were dead, they've managed to survive, and your species hasn't.
And the Daleks have cemented their place in the universe as the world's most deadly cockroach.
I'd like to get back to the episode a bit more.
I like that.
Yeah, that was pretty darn brilliant.
It's because I'm clever.
Because I'm clever.
No.
But there's also the theme, and Desmond and I tried recording this podcast a few weeks ago, but we had some we had issues.
A lot of issues.
And we talked about the whoever said it first, like, you never walk in the same river twice.
Yep.
What is this?
Sorry, you were just saying Pocahontas.
Well,
We watched it the other week. Sorry.
yeah, it shows up in Pocahontas, but it's all the way back to the ancient Greeks.
Yeah.
You never go walk through the same river twice, or step in the same river twice, because your steps into it alter it forever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, like how when you observe an experiment, the observation in and of itself alters the experiment. There's a name for that.
Yes, there is.
What is it?
I don't know.
What is it, dear biochem major?
No, I'm not gonna say it.
Chemistry?
Why not? You don't know it?
Well, I'm not playing 20 questions with her of the word on the podcast because maybe she's thinking of a different word, but it's just it's well, there's the uncertainty. Not uncertainty, no. What is it? But it's about electrons. That your observation of an electron microscope, actually the photon that bounces off that electron moves the electron, so it's not even there when you go to look at it.
So it's a bit Weeping Angel-y.
Oh, we'll get to those soon. Oh God.
I have going with that in a way when you get all the way to Matt Smith's doctor, way.
Whoa.
But no, it was just
Future.
It was just the doctor. It's just saying everywhere he is a scar on time.
Yeah.
So he, like I said, like he alters everything, but the doctor's presence itself is a scar on time.
I think something. I am changing gears here to be a bit more on topic. When we had tried to record it last time, we had talked about how Rose is having some very adjustment issues, to say the least.
She falls in line quickly enough, though.
Yeah, I think it's that or nothing.
I think Rose needed to appreciate her new boy toy faster.
Oh yes.
Because
she had a lot to adjust to.
Yeah, considering going from rough tumble, hey, Eccleston, to skinny pretty boy.
Oh, I'm pretty boy.
And I saw this theory somewhere online, and I'm sticking to it to the end of my life because I'm an inner romantic, that when Eccleston's doctor was regenerating, the only thought in his head was, please let her stay with me. Please let her like the new me.
And so he came out hot.
So his new personality, his new body changed to suit Rose.
It's all for
But
her.
he didn't end up ginger.
But he didn't want to.
But he did want to be
It's
ginger.
not like Rose went, hey, I think gingers are hot, and he stuck that in the back of his mind, like.
We could have had orange hair David
Damn
Tennant.
gingers.
But no, I just think of that, because we know before that the doctor never, he has some say over his regeneration, but not as much as, say, other
Female doctors?
female doctors, female time lords
Cough.
have, control, they can change up to their will. He never seems to ever change
Yeah,
the way
because
he
there's
wants.
that part with River where he's like, I'm thinking about a dress size.
And it's just like, so like female Time Lords can do that, but
I'm sure he can as well, but he
But-
doesn't
Well,
give
he's
two
not
craps.
exactly
but he
a
also like
blade.
runs through his regenerations like water going through his fingers. So it's not like he can actually like.
And it's not. He often does not want to do it.
He doesn't want to go.
Shut up, both of
What if we
you.
never say those
Can
words
we
never
not
again?
be spoilerific? A little
But
bit.
We're not spoiling anything.
We're
just
just
saying no.
saying all the buzzwords from every single
Yes.
future episode, and it bothers me.
but yeah, so
Because some people listening are actually might be all four of them following along.
No for them, yes.
but no, so I believe I just believe that when he regenerated into something that he knew she would love. That way, so that he would not be alone anymore. So someone, his favorite yellow and pink, or pink and yellow,
Pink and yellow.
pink and yellow human would stay with him.
Pink and yellow human.
Look at you, you're all pink and yellow to them.
TV.
What else did we bring up when we tried to do this last time?
Well, I believe we talked a lot more about how screwed the Earth is without the Doctor, if I remember.
Okay, so go. How screwed is the Earth without the Doctor, Sam?
Well,
Or Mary?
sorry.
Mary's got to say something.
Never go.
Well, in Matt Smith's first episode, he brings up a something that's protecting planets that have no encounters with space.
Oh yeah,
they're,
the
slightly
planet.
protected.
Yeah.
So arguably, there's some sort of outer space confederation.
But it's a
something.
planet. It's a category 5 or M planet.
So there's something out there that should, in theory, have some kind of protection against planets like Earth. That if you go and mess with these planets, you're in trouble.
Is it the Shadow Proclamation?
I don't know. He never said. I'm not sure if he says what it is.
I think it might be the Shadow Proclamation, but that comes up in season 4. Because I have issues with the Doctor right now, not much. But
Point is that probably won't stop space pirates.
Well, we could also ask, would aliens even bother coming to our planet if it wasn't for the Doctor?
Ding 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 ding.
because
ding,
in
ding,
a
ding,
way, most because if you look at it, most society, alien societies, in a way, with the exception of a few, are more advanced than us. The only difference that might be is yes, we are a backwater planet, and yes, we do have a lot of minerals and other riches that planets require. But other than that, we're very backwater.
Yeah, and
Without the Doctor or the TARDIS going, hey, look, really powerful and
I
advanced alien technology.
I read some
here."
theory about if Alexandria, the Library of Alexandria,
Mhm.
hadn't burned and all that stuff, that we'd be 1,000 years more advanced or something like that.
Except
I'd
it
buy
did,
that.
and I'm blaming who burned down Alexandria?
Caesar's enemy, that guy.
Hannibal?
No,
No, not Hannibal.
No,
I think
wrong
Hannibal's
one.
later.
no.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Maybe
that
it was
particular-
Augustus. I don't know.
I don't
No,
know.
I can't remember his name. But this
Was
is
it Nero? No.
No.
Nero put the violin in some other city burned.
Yeah, it was wrong bird. He burned down Alexandria.
Point is that
Anyway.
Earth is pretty backwater.
Yeah.
We suck pretty bad at space things.
and life
Right now.
generally.
And I think she said the $1 million question, or she answered the $1 million question, that is the Doctor's protection actually worth the cost?
Because if he wasn't there, if he didn't have the TARDIS or...
I mean, we see at the very beginning of the episode that the little tiny wisp of regeneration energy makes its way all the way into space.
Because not only is it regeneration, it's time vortex energy mixed in with it, too.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the Sycorax could have had the same motivations as the pilot fish, but
That's
Fair.
the reason they were there, though.
Yeah,
What?
the pirate fish. The pirate fish.
pirate fish.
Arr.
Yeah.
Click, click, click,
Arr.
crash.
Glub glub arr.
That what drew them there, and then Sycorax was like, oh look, our pilot fish picked up on some... Oh, look at this planet we found!
Yeah, but it's
There's a convenient thing floating here. Let's take it. Ooh,
It's probably
it's gonna
the
help
truth.
us take the planet.
which begs the question: why crash land on Earth if you're regenerating?
That was pink and
He's
yellow
trying to
humans
take-
from there.
Yeah, he's trying to take away something.
Must
Yeah,
visit
probably.
planet of the pink and yellow human.
This is where my pink and yellow human lives. I must go back for her.
I just have nothing to say right now.
well, I guess I will keep talking because I apparently like to do that. But yeah, given that we know how much damage the Doctor tends to leave behind from planets he visits, other planets, it's almost a miracle the Earth is still, like, together if you think about it. Think of how many desperate situations planets have been put in when he shows up.
Christmas.
The only thing I can answer to that is it's a mixture 50-50. Either you got planets. You haven't heard all my responses. It's either you got planets that he he terrifies them, and so if they think, oh, he's associated with the Earth, we're not going there. Or then, even if they do go there because they're terrified of him, they're like, oh, we can mess with him. But then there's also the planets that he saved and helped, and they're like, oh, the Doctor's protecting the Earth, we shouldn't go there. So it's like a toss of the coin. Either you're gonna get a race that's terrified and fears him, silence, or you're going to get someone that loves him. So
I meant the Earth on the whole. I didn't even mean in regards to alien species. I meant, I'm surprised he hasn't brought enough of a party to run the Earth asunder by now. It's almost pretty miraculous that he's so good at what he does, because if he wasn't, the Earth would be destroyed about 100 times.
Lucky?
Yeah, better lucky than good, I guess.
well, you got 900 years of luck on his side.
I don't know, I'd say his luck's pretty crappy.
Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. I'm exhausted.
It's okay. I mean, I think we've said a lot about the episode.
What else? Does anyone else have anything that needs or wants to be said?
How about that Lion King reference?
Yeah, how about it?
Yeah.
I've watched Lion King in a while, so I'm like, I know it's from the Lion King, but I can't pinpoint what exact moment it's
The
from.
opening song.
Okay, good.
The opening song that no one listens to because we all are preoccupied with that opening. That thing that I would totally mess up if I even tried to sing it.
Yeah, I think the last thing I'll say is, as with most Davies episodes that start seasons or begin arcs, we get to see little tiny blips of the future.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things that I love the most about Davies is that he ties things together so neat and so nicely. One of the things that I really don't like about Moffat is he has so many gosh darn plot holes. And he doesn't set things up as well. It's just like, oh, I had this idea. It's not as well structured as
there isn't a coherent mesh of story.
The season arcs would just crumble and fall apart.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why I'm really excited for him hopefully to step down soon. Yes, please.
I say Davies writing reminds me of another famous British person, J.K. Rowling.
Yes,
If you say your name wrong, you will get hit with a fridge. That's not big enough. Order the Phoenix. That's painful.
Oh, I thought you were gonna throw a vending machine at me.
No, Order the Phoenix is bigger. She does her and Davies. I feel like that's what reminded me of. You'll get something from like book 1, and then you won't see it'll technically be finished up, but then you go all the way to book 5. And
how they brought how the diary was a Horcrux.
Or like how in book 5 when they're cleaning out Sirius's house, and I'm like, oh, what's this heavy locket we can't open? I don't know. Let's throw it away.
Dirt.
But I don't know. It just reminded me of that because, like you said,
It's well written. It's well planned. It's not like he woke up at like some ungodly hour and was like, hey, what would be cool?
Though I imagine that is how Neil Gaiman writes, and that's actually done really well.
Yeah, well, he does it well, and I love the Doctor's voice because of that. But we'll get to that
Yes.
later.
The last thing I'll say about what I said.
The last thing you'll say about the last.
The last thing I'll say about the last thing I'm saying. Yes. Is that we see instability in British government. We see...
And not like American governments anymore. So.
We see Rose like completely enamored with new Doctor. We see... We see the Doctor more than willing to say no second chances, and more than willing to destabilize what was probably going to be an otherwise solid, good British government.
Mm-hmm.
Just with
why we
6
can't
words.
have nice things.
And we get to see that sometimes we get to live in bliss of the hard decisions other people make. Like, we get to stand outside in the snow that's actually ash from debris of a giant spaceship.
It's never going to melt.
And we get to look at a meteor shower that looks beautiful to all the common people who have no idea exactly what sort of horrible atrocity they committed in the name of defense.
Yep.
The human race still lives in ignorance, I think is what it's trying to say at the end. Just because some people are starting to wake up doesn't mean the whole population is.
That's good.
That'll come later.
Yay!
Yeah, ghosts.
I'll say, like, the one thing I want to say last before we end this is, because I'm a romantic at heart, and I have to say this, in the way you could see the beautiful beginning of the chemistry that Billy and David have with each other.
I think they have a beautiful chemistry personally, like between the actors themselves,
Yeah.
Billy and David. But between Rose and the Doctor, I mean, people who read the blog know this. I do not ship them at all.
Sacrilege!
I'm sorry, I don't.
And I'm just here
Eccleston.
waiting for Eccleston. Who will
Well,
never return.
I just gotta say that moment when he goes, "Am I sexy?" and he winks at Rose, and I'm just like, stop, my heart.
Yeah, I mean, I see that it's definitely what they wanted us to go for, but I just don't like it. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm not Rose.
I go for more than a certain someone who appears in season 5 and 6.
What about season 3?
No, let's not talk about
Ooh,
her.
are we gonna have opinions? Can we have opinions later?
We have been-
Welcome to the time and relative dimension in opinions.
Tardip.
Tardic.
That sounds really like some gross thing you put on shrimp.
But yeah, I always say that's the beginning of a beautiful relationship between them, and I will always ship them no matter what face he has or where she is. I ship them.
They're
Hardcore.
beautiful.
I will go down with that ship. As a
They're-
captain should always go down with his ship.
They are beautiful.
All right,
Can I
then.
put that in?
Yeah.
You can. High five.
I don't
Okay, so
know
let's
about you.
let's bring in bring in these reins.
Let's say goodnight to the internet.
Good night,
Sleep
internet.
tight.
Good night, internet.